probably one of the most well-connected black women in the state of North Carolina.
And have you like felt your circle get more personable because of that?
No, not really.
But I promise you, she got receipts for you.
I got receipts. So don't text me something you don't want exposed.
How is your viewpoints on other politicians? Because I feel like a lot of people, okay, so they're called dead cats, right? All this wind that's going on, it makes it to where the wind isn't heard.
So how you find all that out? You just
research.
So you knew that you had to do that?
Yes,
okay.
of course. Okay. Because look, at the end of the day, there are a lot of things that goes on behind the scenes. You know, my job at that point in time was like, okay, cool. I want to learn everything that I can about everything that goes on behind the scenes. That way, when I go ahead and I do this myself, I can be at that same level.
Do you have a good following?
It's growing. I definitely say it's growing.
Send me your thing so I know to follow you.
For sure. Yes, I will send you that.
Okay.
I understand that this is a process.
This is the mother in me. I'm going to do that for you. There you go.
Ooh, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. See? Love that. Thank you so much. But it's a process. And so whenever you're trying to start something new, then you have to be able to understand, okay, cool, it's going to take a little bit of time, you know? And I'm not afraid of that.
Right.
If I start off young, if I start off early, it's only going to go up.
I know, and you look younger than you actually are. You look like you're fresh out of high school and
really?
Graduate school. Yes.
Yes.
You look younger. And that's good that you're doing something else just besides being in graduate school. You're working and you're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. And I appreciate that because I don't know, like there's always a different passion that people have. I never want to go into a career and eventually get burnt out.
Right.
That's my thing. I wanted to be able to have a backup plan and still do something that I love to do. You know, one point I was like on the fence. I wanted to do coding, and I learned that's not for me.
Okay.
You know, and you have to be able to accept that sometimes.
But it's a lucrative field too now.
It is.
Okay.
Ooh, that's why I went into it.
Okay.
That's why I went into it. But how did you get to where you got to?
Well, the question is, where am I? I am I consider myself a unicorn. I've been able to be fortunate to have a lot of different experiences. When I came to East Carolina University, I got an undergraduate degree in school and community health education.
Okay.
So I did school health so I can get a teaching certificate.
Okay.
I did an internship so I could get into public health. At that time, we called it community health because, it was almost 40 years ago.
Gotcha.
And then I've just always been like a people person, so to speak. Did a lot of things in the sorority, which led to me getting into politics. I became really good at politics and being a campaign manager or a political advisor and things like that. So,
how did you get good at politics from the sorority?
I ran for office.
Ooh, okay.
And let me tell you, that's a brutal process.
Really?
If you can survive in that,
really,
you can do anything.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I say brutal because candidates do it because you want to win. When you don't win, you're disappointed. I took that and channeled that into politics that I could get paid for.
There we go.
And became really good at it.
Yeah.
So that loss was a blessing because it motivated me to do other things.
Sometimes we need to lose to get a fire underneath us, because sometimes we just need that motivation.
Right.
If we're winning consistently, honestly, I think it starts to get a little dull. And then you start expecting, okay, cool, I'm going to win this. I don't need to really go too much further in XYZ because I'm doing the best at whatever the field that I'm in right now, And you
don't work as hard.
Exactly. But whenever it's almost like the underdog, it's like, God, I got counted out XYZ. Now I'm going to work twice as hard because I really want to get this position or I really want to do better in XYZ, Those little things.
It does. It makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So I've been able to have a variety of experiences. I was a teacher. I worked at the local health department. I worked at the state health department. I had my own girls group home.
Ooh.
And it wasn't until I did the girls group home that I realized, you do need multiple streams of income because that was better than the state income. Yeah. That's why I tell people your age now, hey, you always want to do multiple things. Yeah. When I was growing up, we were taught get a government job. That's a good thing, but you don't get paid in a government job. And money's not everything, but you don't go to school to get all these degrees to barely make it.
Exactly.
And I have 3 degrees now.
Really?
And as a black woman, sometimes we become overeducated.
Yeah.
We always have obstacles, and we're taught to believe that you've got to have all these degrees, and I know you hear you got to be twice as good as what we really do to get in certain rooms.
Yeah, for sure.
And have certain opportunities.
For sure. Which sucks.
It does,
I'm gonna
but
be
it's
honest.
life.
Yeah.
But it also makes us great. I'm proud to be a black woman. I think we are a beautiful group of people that provide a lot of good things.
Yeah.
It's more than the nurturing, it's the resilience in all that.
Exactly.
So if we didn't have all those struggles, we'd be mediocre.
Exactly. Exactly.
So I appreciate the struggle.
Of course. And that honestly goes back to what your experience was before, where you got counted out. If we as a people are counted out, it motivates us to do twice as hard,
It does.
I will say though, like you said, it's life. But sometimes it's just like, dang, like it sucks a little bit because when we're counted out, it's like, man, I see other people and they're perfectly fine.
But that's an outward appearance.
True.
They may not necessarily be perfectly fine. They may have other issues that you don't have.
Yeah.
You're making assumptions because things look a certain way.
From the outside looking in. You're right. Okay. So have you ever had assumptions made of you?
Oh, absolutely. Look at me. And the crazy thing about it, I'm a very confident woman.
Okay.
I don't care if people say conceited. Yes, I've always been very conceited. I know I'm beautiful.
Okay.
I know that gets me in certain places that other people can't necessarily go.
Okay. There we go. We love the confidence.
Even in spaces with people that don't look like me, because of my appearance.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But that's part of my personality too.
Has that always been a part of your personality?
Yeah,
or is that something you grew into?
since I was little.
Wow.
Yeah, my family would tell you I've never been humble. I've never even thought about being humble. What's the purpose?
What's the purpose?
I'm appreciative of everything I have.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm not meek, mild, and humble. That's not me.
How has that benefited you throughout the years?
A lot of ways. Because of my boldness, I'm able to just do the impossible sometimes just because I know I can. Or I say that this is what I'm going to do, and I'm just allowed that opportunity.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so,
it has its downfalls, though. Okay, so I'm from Fayetteville, and I tell everybody
shout out Fayetteville,
and,
we love it.
Hey, I love Fayetteville.
Exactly.
I'm moving back home when I fully retire because I love being there regardless of the crime. But I say, in Fayetteville, we grew up kind of tough. I went to E. Smith High School, which is a black high school, so we don't play.
For sure.
Don't let the degrees and the looks fool you.
Exactly.
Because, I can be a girl on the street.
Yeah.
Or I can be Dr. Sharon McDonald Evans.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Because that's still a party.
That's right. And I don't forget it. But I love having that be a part of me because that's who I am.
Yeah.
But it also checks people sometimes when they assume,
oh, she's Dr. Evans, she's stuck up, she's this.
I'm fine in any environment. Here in Greenville, I can go to the project areas. I know a lot of people over there.
Yeah.
It doesn't bother me because I don't judge people for where they are.
That's the thing. A lot of people, especially whenever we get up to higher echelons and levels and socioeconomic classes, it's almost like you forget about where you come from.
Right.
Especially for those who wasn't even in that vicinity, because it's like the little man.
Yeah.
And whenever you get so big, it's very easy to oversee the little man.
It is, but that's also a personality thing. I say when I see people like that, they were never happy with who they are. They don't like themselves.
Gotcha.
I love me.
Yeah.
I love my people.
For sure.
I like all people, but I really love my people.
Yeah. No bias, but I mean, it's a bias.
Right, but it is a bias. It's okay. It is what it is. Everybody can't experience that, but those people that think they're better than everybody else, they'll be brought down.
For sure.
And they'll have to realize, okay, I'm not. We're the same.
Yeah. Everything that goes up must come down, And so you have to be humbled at some point. At some point.
Right.
It comes for everybody. When it comes to your interactions with people from the other side, right? The other side of the tracks, right? Has anybody ever looked at you differently because of those relationships?
I don't know, because I really don't care what they think. So you're asking the wrong person that question.
For sure.
I literally do not care what people think. I don't care who people see me talk to, because if I like you and you're in my circle, or if that's what I want to do, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to owe you an apology or an explanation for that.
Exactly. Do you think other people could benefit from that?
I think some. Again, it just depends on the individual. A lot of people are not comfortable with that. They like to blend in. They like people to like them.
For sure.
I enjoy people not liking me. You know.
I think that makes you a leader.
It does sometimes.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I just want to sit back and not do anything.
Of course.
You know.
Of course. We all had to rest at some point, you know. But you have to be able to be comfortable in your skin.
Right.
If you're uncomfortable, honestly, other people can see that. You know, they can feel that out and see it, say, okay, cool. You see how this yeah. But yeah. So when you're uncomfortable in your own skin, then that affects you and that also affects others.
Right.
That is a journey that a lot of people have to go through, especially whenever you're younger.
Right.
Because we're still trying to find ourselves. You know, a lot of times if you're trying to fit in, then your personality starts getting meshed with other people's personality.
Right. It does.
So what would you recommend for people trying to kind of like stand outside the pack, find themselves? Because you found yourself, right?
I knew who I was, though, from a young girl. So
Got you.
It was different. I just embraced myself as I evolved, you know. I think finding yourself is relative. Now, I tell you what, Viola Davis has a great book called Finding Me.
Okay.
So people that can't find themselves need to read her book.
Okay. Shout out Viola Davis.
Yes,
All right.
yes, that's a great book. And she talks about growing up poor, her experiences, but her experiences were very different from mine because she wasn't attractive or considered to be attractive when she was young. But she's a beautiful woman. And even I saw the younger pictures of her and they were beautiful. But again, it's perception of other people. She was a child who was bothered by other people's perceptions. I've never been that. But I also know I don't look like everybody else too.
Yeah,
you
for
know,
sure.
I'm a black woman with hazel eyes. And, you know, they're trying to figure out what is she.
So there's not contacts?
You know, no. And the crazy thing, when my kids were young, people used to say, oh, they have contacts. Now, what idiot would put contacts in a toddler? Okay.
You right.
You know, that used to burn me up, and I would just say, "Oh, black people can't have hazel eyes."
Yeah.
You know, and especially coming here, and they weren't used to seeing people that look like me at home. I have a lot of relatives that look like me, so it was normal. I didn't realize it was different until I came to college.
Yeah.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" So. Again, I think people are given opportunities to find themselves through their lived experiences, and as they evolve through life and they experience different things, they will eventually find themselves, or they will find who they need to be.
For sure. Being a politician, right? How is your viewpoints on other politicians? Because I feel like a lot of people, mind you, you don't have to answer this, but a lot of people have their own viewpoints and they view politicians as such a negative thing.
Until they need something.
Until they need something. Exactly. Until we need a law passed.
That's one. The other thing, there are some politicians who don't do right by people. I'll be very honest about that. I don't work with those. Or if I have, trust me, they get a good tongue lashing and some choice words from me about that. I believe in people being authentic. You have to run off what you believe, not what you believe will get you the votes. Because when you get the votes, you still have to do the job.
Exactly.
And if you don't do what you promise to do, it's a promise. It's a problem with that.
Exactly.
You know, so
because people look at that.
Every election cycle, people are always asking me, okay, Sharon, who to vote for? You know, and things like that, because they trust my opinion and they know I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm going to tell you the good, bad, and the ugly.
For sure.
But I'm going to also tell you why I support this person.
For sure.
As a race of people, we get into, oh, you don't want to choose the lesser of two evils, but you got to think about what's the outcome.
Exactly.
It's not about choosing the lesser of two evils. It's choosing the person who can do the most for you. And you can't think that things happen overnight, because they don't. It's a process. And what is it that you want to be done? They can't just go up here and wave a magic wand. So let's be realistic. But as long as people are authentic and they have a good heart about what they're doing, I'm 100% behind them.
Okay.
So I don't do campaigns just for money. I've had people ask me to work for them, and I was like, no. I don't like you as a person. I can't support you as a candidate. I don't believe in that.
Exactly.
You know, so and I support people on both sides, don't get me wrong.
For sure.
You know, you don't have to just be a Democrat.
Yeah.
You know, there are some decent people with other parties out here. So.
Exactly. And I think we have to be more open-minded to stuff like that, you know?
We do. But you got to look at the issues. And I mean, for you to be on the other side and not be a Democrat, you have to be really good for me.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm strictly Democrat.
Yeah.
Again, you got to go with who you really believe in will do the best. Mm-hmm. Because if I didn't, then people would start to not trust me. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, she's getting something out of this, or she's only doing it because that's who she likes.
Exactly.
And things like that. Now, I try to look at the whole picture.
Okay. And I like your viewpoints on politics because it's a tough topic.
It is.
Especially nowadays. It's like almost hyper-focused on. It's got such a buzzword behind it. Man, you can't even talk about it anymore to people.
Oh, not without having a fight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I've had some heated discussions.
Of course.
Where people feel like, okay, we might go to blows over some stuff. Especially for things that are discriminatory. Mm-hmm. No. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to tolerate that at all. We can talk all day long. We can argue.
Yeah.
I can get in your face about that.
Exactly.
Because, again, people cannot help what they look like. So you need to respect people from all races, one. And sexual orientation, that's your business.
Exactly.
What a woman does with her body, that's her business.
Exactly.
And that's because that's what I believe in.
Yeah.
And I know I look like a person. You can't tell me what to do because I'm going to do the opposite.
Yeah.
Because that's what you want.
Yeah.
For
sure.
I'm going to do what I want to do.
Yeah. And that has been such a tough topic, especially when it comes to abortion and everything along those lines, because it's like, man, like everybody should be able to have jurisdiction over their body.
Over their body.
You know?
Right. We're not in a dictatorship. This is a democracy. And what I worry about with them talking about abortion, because my area is public health, specifically women's and children's health and infant mortality.
Yeah.
You don't know the situation. You've got people who are raped, incestual situations.
Oh, for sure.
You got people who just financially can't afford to have another child.
Exactly.
Or you got people that say,
I really don't like this dude.
Exactly.
I don't want to have his baby.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's okay too.
And that's okay.
You know?
Because that's your choice.
Yeah.
I have no judgment.
Yeah.
Now, I've never personally had to be put in that situation.
For sure.
But if I did, that is my choice, my business, my body.
Exactly. And you would want to be able to have a choice and not feel obligated to be in a situation that you don't want to be in.
Yeah, because what you're going to do is have these women out here practically almost killing themselves.
Exactly.
To get rid of it.
Exactly.
You know, searching the internet. Your generation
for sure
is internet focused. Boy.
Oh, man. Can find something on Google.
You find something on Google doesn't mean it's true. You got to come from a reliable source.
Exactly.
Like, okay, is this accredited? Is it reliable?
Look, we ain't got that far yet.
No. But you believe it's the gospel because you found it on the internet.
Exactly.
And I'm like,
exactly.
Man, that's
it's hard though sometimes because it's hard to teach that. You know, where it's like, okay, everything that you see on the internet is not true.
Right.
And we can beat that into people all day long, but it's still a habit that you got to break out of.
Let me tell you, when I came to college, they were just having computers. And you know, we had those big mainframes.
Yeah.
Nobody had a computer in their room. Definitely not. We didn't even have cell phones back then.
Oh, that's a different time.
You know. It is. And my son will tease me. He's like, did y'all have color TV back there? You know, I was like, boy. I mean, seriously, you think about that. And we had to read.
Yeah.
Everybody had encyclopedias in their house. Now you can't find a set of encyclopedias.
I haven't seen an encyclopedia in years.
See? But it was good information now. It might be outdated because of the way information is going now.
Yeah.
But you got to have an appreciation for books.
Yeah.
And you know, I remember we had the complete works of Shakespeare, had a set of encyclopedias, all kinds of things. And that was common in every household. But now,
which is different. That's a different time.
It is a different time, but we got to appreciate some of that.
Yeah, exactly.
But you all don't. You want everything right away.
That's true. It's a real instant gratification culture.
Yeah,
you know?
It is.
Because it's like, you know, if I can't find it in about 10 seconds, and I'm guilty of this too. If it's buffering for too long, okay, let's go to another page.
Really?
Like, yes.
Oh, no.
Just because I'm like, okay, wait, why is it taking so long?
Well, see, in my thing, I'm sort of the opposite of that.
Okay.
Why they don't want me to see this?
Ooh, okay, I like your thinking. So I'm the type
disturbing. I don't care. It can buffer. I'll walk away, come back. I might even call the internet company and be like, look, what's the problem? Or either try to pull it up on different sources because it makes me curious. Why didn't I want you to see that?
Okay. I'm going to start thinking about that. I'm going to start thinking about it. I like that.
It makes you a little paranoid, but...
It does, but you got to balance that out, right?
Yeah. I certainly am not going to another page.
But it's these things, that our culture has to work through, and just the progression of our society. And so I was talking to somebody, and I said, we're talking about grandmothers, right? And I was saying...
Grandmothers are different now.
Grandmothers are very different.
So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very sensitive about that because,
of course. Look,
we're not like the old grandmothers, okay?
And you know what? I like that. All right. Because I was talking about how you see the progression of society in real time, where you see, for example, didn't have laptops like that, didn't have cell phones like that, and now we have an iPhone every year.
Right. And sometimes we get tired of that, though.
Yes.
Because I have an iPhone and a Galaxy.
Really?
Oh, yeah. See, this is
man,
really
I gotta get on your
wave.
wave.
This is my photo phone here.
Okay.
This takes way better pictures than my iPhone.
Okay.
I have 3 lines, so I have 2 iPhones.
Okay.
That I use on a regular basis just because that's what I've had. And I'm still learning how to use the Galaxy just function-wise because it's so different. This is my camera phone.
Wow. Hey, y'all, maybe we need to get a camera phone because we lying.
But the iPhones seem like to die out. When they come out with new ones, then you start having problems with the one you have.
That's facts.
Because I have the one that's right before whatever generation is out now.
Yeah, me too.
And
I just had to get that one.
It's getting on my nerves, but I was like, it can fall apart because I don't care. I am not buying another phone.
Yeah.
Because they keep you in debt with these phones.
They really do. Once you pay it off, it's like, okay, now it's buffering. Now it's lagging. Now you run out of storage.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I see what you're doing now.
But now my son did give me some good advice because, again, take pictures. So with this last iPhone, I bought a terabyte. Didn't know they had them.
A terabyte?
Yes.
You needed a terabyte of storage?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow.
I have that many pictures.
Jeez.
And I keep everything. So if you text me, I keep receipts. I'm like crying. I can pull it up and say, no, this is not what you said.
Okay.
And that's good because people lie.
For sure.
They lie. And you be like, oh, no, I can screenshot this to you. Yeah, I have. And I keep all my old iPhones, so I have that too.
You have all your old iPhones?
Oh, yeah.
You know you could probably sell some of those.
No. Why? They want to give you $200 for a phone I paid $1,000 for?
Look.
No.
Wait like 10 more years. It's going to be an antique.
Okay. And I probably won't sell it then. Why? Because I got my text messages.
I just got a receipt. I don't know who y'all doing wrong by her, but I promise you, she got receipts for you.
I got receipts. So don't text me something you don't want exposed.
For sure.
I got it.
Look. That's a politician in you.
Right. That may be true. Man, it's brutal out here.
Yeah. But one, it's very rare that you see somebody keep their phones. 2, because now I'm imagining like a stack of phones.
You want the $200?
Yeah. I'm gonna trade this in because look, if I pay $1,000 for this phone, right? At least I'll get it for $800.
That's not worth it.
It's not worth it?
No.
If I keep everything on iCloud, it should come through.
Okay, that's your generation. I don't want nothing on the cloud. I don't want nothing.
You don't trust the cloud?
No. I don't, and I know that's probably crazy, but I don't want anything I don't have control over, and I can't tell exactly where it is.
Okay.
And I got to go through a whole process to figure out where it is.
Yeah.
I want it on my phone.
Granted,
and then also I figured that's a way for them to get more money because they want you to pay more for extra cloud space. No,
that's true.
Not doing that.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Between 3 phones, I have enough storage.
I would hope so.
I have enough storage. I have 3 laptops.
Yeah, 3 laptops?
Well, yeah. So I have a mini laptop so when I travel.
Okay.
But I don't use it that much. I bought it because it's lightweight. When you're traveling in the airport, you want to pull out this big laptop.
For sure.
But the screen is small.
I hate small screens.
I'm 57, okay?
Yeah.
I don't wear glasses yet.
Okay. That's a blessing.
My vision is challenged at night. I can't see at night. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, yo, we need to watch out for her on the road.
I can't see at night, and when it rains, I can't see.
Yeah.
But that little screen, I hate it. Mm-hmm. So I also have the largest iPad because that screen is larger.
Okay, gotcha.
So I have that.
Having an iPad will change your life.
Yeah, and so with my laptop that I pretty much keep at the house, I have like a 42-inch monitor.
Damn.
Okay.
Because I need to see.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like that though.
So, yeah.
Big screens. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think America is definitely infatuated though with big screens.
Yeah.
Even if you aren't vision challenged, it's just nice to see a big old screen. I wanted the Pro Max just because it was just really big. You know? Yeah. But I looked at the price and I said, it's not worth it.
I know, but that's what I had. But I look at it, I said, this thing ain't that much bigger. It needs to be bigger than that.
Exactly.
But I got it anyway.
With the terabyte, y'all.
With the terabyte.
Yeah. So, what has been something that you have seen change for the better in your personal lifetime? I'm gonna give you a little bit to think about it.
Personally, as a personal experience, or just in general?
I'm gonna say your personal experience.
I have even less tolerance for people than what I had when I was younger. When I was younger, I would give people an opportunity to do better.
Okay.
Now I just cut you off.
Really?
Done.
Gotcha.
And that might not be great. But I don't miss them.
Gotcha.
Because you benefit from having a relationship with me more than I would ever benefit from you, because I'm a giver. I'm a giver. I'm an advocate. Whatever you need, I got you.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
and I'm just really getting to know you.
For sure.
But hey, you from Fayetteville, I got you. You here, you're taken care of. Tell your mama, you're good.
I appreciate
whatever
that.
you need.
Yeah.
And I know it has some negative, because everybody's not perfect. And I'm sure people have cut me off and probably shouldn't have, because you're gonna have disagreements, you're gonna have things like that. But for me, I would say that's the thing I've seen change for the better.
Okay. And have you felt your circle get more personable because of that?
No, not really.
Okay.
Because if you were in my circle, you knew everything anyway. We have full disclosure.
Gotcha.
But I also am the type of person, even though we have full disclosure, I don't care what you know. Because I'm not afraid of it. You know?
Yeah.
My circle is smaller. One of my best friends from high school, and she's in Germany right now, she'll tell you, oh my God, everybody has always been Sharon's best friend. This is her best friend, this is her best friend, that's her best friend, that's her best friend. Because I didn't want them all just be considered friends. And I didn't ever thought about it until she said that. I said, you know what? She's right. So now I have maybe 2 or 3 best friends instead of 12.
Yeah.
Everybody else are just friends and associates.
Yeah.
And anything less than associate is not worth talking about.
Exactly. Now, that's something that my mom taught me about. Where the value of associates, you know, and distinguishing between them. Because not everybody is your friend and not everybody's your best friend.
Right.
And so whenever you call everybody your best friend, then you might think that your relationship is more personable and deeper than it actually is. So then it might hurt you later on if you see that this person isn't acting the way that you expect them to act.
That's right. And for me, I have a downside because I have a daughter that's equally as beautiful as I am, but she's not so conceited or confident.
Got you.
She's more humble.
Yeah.
Because of her appearance and very smart, people were always jealous of her, but she was not vocal.
That's
me and my son are vocal, so I'm the mama, she ain't gonna say it to you, but mama will.
Exactly.
She don't care what you think of her, go on. Or I would tell her, this girl's not your friend, she's jealous. I've always been the cool mom, the kid. And Martina would tell people, my mama is not a therapist, stop calling her with your problems. But I wanted them to have a safe space where they could have conversations with an adult who knew exactly what was going on,
which is valuable.
Now, and in situations where I needed to tell their parents, I told their parents.
For sure.
In situations where they didn't have to know, they didn't know. I took care of it. But they need that, because otherwise they're listening to their friends and they don't know anything.
Exactly. You got the blind leading the blind.
Blind leading the blind. But my daughter had a hard time understanding. I was like, this girl is not your friend. And she probably found out maybe 3 years ago. She's like, she said, I guess I said, I was right. Go ahead and say it. I was right.
Yeah.
You don't want to say it.
Yeah.
I was right.
It's hard to admit that sometimes. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's hard to admit. And I sent her a text 2 days ago when she was in college at Carolina. She had made this Facebook post about how much she missed us, me and her brother, and how much she valued me as her best friend in life. I said, now every time we have an argument right now, I'm going to bring that up. Because we're going through hell. Because she has a child now, and she doesn't want me to tell her what to do. She's like,
that's old, that's outdated.
Nothing about rearing a child changed, okay?
That's true. It really stays the same.
And then this is your mama's area of expertise.
Yeah.
And you're going to just disregard what I say?
But sometimes it's hard to take that.
But her friends and my nieces, they're calling me friend. I said, Lord, y'all call me and value my opinion more than my own child.
Say, you know what? Tell her how you doing.
Correct.
Exactly.
Correct. So I just let her suffer through it, and then I come back and say, see, I told you.
And sometimes we got to learn those lessons for ourselves because it's easy to hear and to listen, for sure.
It is.
But to not gain that experience yourself, you don't truly know what it means for this to not work out.
Right.
You know, especially when it comes to raising a child.
It is. And the downside to that is there are some situations where I should have let her figure it out, but I didn't because I'm such a dominant personality type.
For sure.
She was more introverted. You know, when she was young, we would always go to Florida for a vacation.
Okay.
And we'd be on a gated resort community.
Okay. For sure.
So I said, oh, Martina, go out to a stranger. I was trying to prepare her for college and introduce yourself, have a conversation. No, I don't want to do it. I mean, she would freak out. I was like, you're ready to go to Carolina with 30, 40,000 people. You got to be comfortable having a conversation.
Yeah.
And she was terrified. She would bust out crying in tears. And
That's
I was just
wild.
like, I don't understand that, you know.
Is that anxiety?
I don't know what it was. I think it was she was sheltered.
Yeah.
You know, part of her personality. And my son was the exact opposite. I have a boy, come back over here. Stop.
You had to rein him in.
Please ignore him. He is me in a male body.
Okay.
So
Okay.
It's interesting. But yeah. Well, I know it has a good and bad, but.
For sure. And it's a balance, you know. You do everything that you can.
Oh, yeah.
And they turn out good, and it seems like they turned out good.
They turned out fine. Everybody has obstacles.
Exactly.
They have, but they
Exactly.
turned out fine. I'm proud.
For sure.
I am
For
proud.
sure.
I would be proud regardless because they're mine.
Exactly. That's the love that we need in the community.
Right. But I'm not babysitting them grandkids all the time.
You're not babysitting the grandkids? Ah, man.
They have to get on my schedule. And if I have plans, I do not change my plans
For sure.
to babysit.
For sure.
I didn't enjoy any part of producing them. So, and I tell them that, they were like, oh my God, Mom. Well, that's the truth.
Yeah.
You all didn't have much of babysitters. I kept you.
Really?
And I was pretty much a single parent after my kids turned 5 because I had to put my husband out. You know, that wasn't going to work, and I wasn't going to just stay with him just because.
Yeah, for sure.
So, no. So I sacrificed my adult life to raise them.
Which is a big sacrifice.
Now I'm free.
Yeah.
I'm free. I'm healthy.
You say, I'm living my life.
I'm living my life. I'll call them and say, hey, I'm going to Spain next week and see you when I get back. You know, I might be in Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, somewhere. And I said, you'll know. And my daughter said, well, what if something happens? I said, well, one thing about it, you know, I'm Sheriff Dance's campaign manager. I said, the sheriff knows every place I am at all times.
There we go.
So
there we go. See, I'm taken care of.
You just call her if you don't hear from me.
Yeah. That's nice, though. You know, I want to say one of the biggest highlights of our conversation has been connections.
Oh, yeah. Major connections.
Yeah,
and I'll tell anybody, I'm probably one of the most well-connected black women in the state of North Carolina.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Now, how is that experience of getting to that?
It's wonderful, but it goes back to me being who I am, being authentic and good to people.
Yeah.
So it's almost like we have a reciprocal relationship. So there have been times where they needed something, I provided it for them, and they value that relationship. They also know I'm not going to abuse any type of relationship.
For sure.
Yeah. So both white and black, anybody from the governor down. I worked on the governor's campaign. So, you know, I can pick up the phone and call him.
Yeah.
Him. I call our mayor. I talk to him all the time. And especially when I see something now, like I say, PJ, what in the world is going on? But we're great friends.
Yeah.
That's just been something I've naturally been able to do. So I do like that.
And I like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that allows you, one, to gain more relationships with people and also show other people like, hey, you can do this.
Oh, yeah.
It's all about genuine connection.
Yeah. And it's something that just naturally happened. It wasn't nothing I was trying to do.
Exactly.
It just sort of evolved over time. And now it's like standard.
Yeah. Y'all listen, man, because he's not plotting on nobody. She's not making no moves.
No. If you techie, you got a MacBook.
I do.
Look, I have the iPhones and all that, but I don't understand the MacBook. But
really?
Okay.
You know, I will say it's a lot of different controls, though.
It's too complicated.
Really different for Windows.
Right.
But with Windows, you can do a lot more. you know. Okay. So I will say that's one of the drawbacks. But with MacBooks,
and then it's like $2,500. I was like, I'm paying $2,500.
We're not going to speak on my MacBook.
You know, the laptops I got, they're HPs.
Yes.
And in a few years, I'll buy another one. Because they right at 1,000 or a little under that.
Yeah. Now, that's the thing. I had to spend a lot of money to take my MacBook out. So I ended up spending around $3,300 just to take everything out to where I don't need to buy it again.
Right.
That was my biggest thing. If I'm going to buy something, I don't want to buy ever again.
Right.
To where, okay, cool, I have my camera. Yes, other versions come out for sure, but I don't need to worry about getting another one. If I'm getting another one, it's because I just have some extra cash and want to get some,
right.
you know?
Right. I gotcha.
It's the little things. Be prepared, y'all. Okay. But, so I'm enjoying this conversation.
Me too.
With the current, I guess, situation of our society, how do you feel is the best way to get to the position that you are in?
That I'm in? I don't know.
Okay.
Because I think I just organically arrived into this position. My close friends know the struggle.
Okay, for sure.
Because you heard me say I was divorced.
Yeah.
And then didn't believe in dating while my kids were young. You know, I think it's just, like you said, it was meant to be that way.
Yeah.
And through every struggle, I learned a lesson.
Yeah.
And it made me better or worse. But it was beneficial.
For sure.
So I don't know, because I don't know if people want to be in that position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And go through the things that you went through to get to.
And it also puts you in a different position. Like, as I said, I'm very well connected. But my friends know you can't call me and ask me for a favor just because I know the Colonel of Highway Patrol.
Yeah.
Or because I know the governor.
Exactly.
Or the Attorney General. Or somebody on the Supreme Court or the Court of Appeals. No, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
If I have value in it and I feel that it's not going to breach my relationship with them, then I will exercise that, but it's not often.
For sure.
And that's the downside, because then you don't want people to think you're keeping opportunities away. But I was like, that's not my problem. That's your problem.
Exactly.
Right. It's different. So I don't know. And I don't give out phone numbers, randomly. I was like, oh, no. You're not doing that. You can tell me what you want to say.
Yeah.
I'll think about delivering it. And if you get a response, I'll let you know.
Yeah, for sure. But I think that keeps the relationship, you know, it does. It's sacred, because a person doesn't have to worry about 50 million people have their number because of you.
Right, or abusing my relationship with them.
Exactly.
But they know when I call, I need it. I need it to be done.
Yeah.
Because if it's not going to get done, we're going to have a problem.
For sure. And I love to see that, you know, because I think it's hard sometimes to see people valuing the relationships the way that you do, you know, to where it's like, if I've met this person, I have a good rapport with this person, then this person is valuable to me. And so I want to be able to make sure that I am respecting their values and respecting my values at the same time, you know? So I like that. I like that a lot. It's getting a little bit harder raining. So
it is.
What I'm going to do, we're going to go ahead and kind of like close this off.
Okay.
But one, if you could introduce yourself to everybody, because I think we missed that. No, we whole missed that.
Okay, so that's a problem too, because, you know, I tell people sometimes when I walk in the room, I expect people to know who I am. They already know my name because I'm so great. Again, that's the confidence. So
for sure.
I am Dr. Sharon McDonald Evans from Fayetteville, North Carolina, but I've lived in Greenville for almost 40 years.
Wow. Wow. That's a long time.
57. I'll be 58 next month. Glad to see it.
Exactly.
Because I enjoy people say, oh my God, you don't look like it. Yes, I am. I'm 58.
Yeah,
I'll
and
be
you
58.
don't.
And I tell the young guys, and they try to holler, I said, don't want my son to have to go to jail, because he will, because he's older than you. Okay? I'm not a cougar. Not at all.
Yeah.
I'm content in my space with my own friend.
For sure.
Don't need that.
Exactly.